A severe winter storm is set to wreak havoc across the central and eastern United States, threatening over 110 million people with snow, ice, and perilous travel conditions. The latest in a series of winter onslaughts is expected to cause widespread chaos and hazardous situations from the plains to the mid-Atlantic. The death toll from powerful winter storms in the central and eastern United States has risen to at least 14, officials said Monday, after floods, gale-force winds and bitterly cold temperatures swept the region. Severe winter storm is affecting the central and eastern United States, with more than 110 million people under winter weather alerts. The rough, harsh cold descended on the nation's midsection Monday as a polar vortex gripped the Rockies and northern plains on the heels of weekend storms that pummeled the eastern U.S., with floods killing at least 14 people. The National Weather Service, NWS, had winter weather-related warnings in place for 30 states on Tuesday morning, with up to 14. Schools were closed and residents were ordered to shelter in place Tuesday after a large fire broke out at an aerospace manufacturer's facility in a town north of Philadelphia, officials said. The fire broke out at SPS Technologies in Jenkintown around 9:30 p.m. Monday. Witnesses said there was an explosion and flames could be seen inside the warehouse. The Abington Township Police Department said in a statement on social media, the building was evacuated. All employees were accounted for and no injuries were reported. SPS Technologies describes itself as a developer, manufacturer and global supplier of a line of aerospace fasteners and precision components. The Abington and Jenkintown school districts and all private and parochial schools were closed Tuesday and will remain shuttered on Wednesday. The shelter-in-place order initially was in effect until the incident was under control because smoke and particulates from the fire were filtering across the area, officials said. But residents and businesses in the immediate area near the plant, roughly 700 people, were asked to voluntarily evacuate late Tuesday afternoon while conditions permit because of concerns over air quality. Hazmat crews were monitoring air quality and advised all businesses within a 1-mile, 1.6-kilometer radius to remain closed until further notice. Pope Francis has developed pneumonia in both his lungs and his condition remains complex, the Vatican says. The 88-year-old has been suffering from a respiratory infection for more than a week and was admitted to Rome's Gemelli Hospital on Friday. The follow-up chest CT scan which the Holy Father underwent this afternoon demonstrated the onset of bilateral pneumonia, which required additional drug therapy, the Vatican said. Hurricane, the former Special Operations K-9 with the Secret Service that's considered the most decorated K-9 in U.S. history, has died at the age of 16. The Belgian Malinois famously took down a White House intruder in 2014 while former President Barack Obama and his family were home. For his brave actions, the do-good doggy received scores of awards, including the Department of Homeland Security Secretary's Award for Valor, an honor shared with his handler Marshall Mirachi. He was my best friend and meant the absolute world to me, Mirachi told the Post Tuesday. I was so lucky to be able to have an experience to know that my dog was willing to die for me. High-level delegations from the U.S. and Russia held talks in Saudi Arabia on Tuesday over the fate of Ukraine, the negotiations taking place without Kyiv's participation. The State Department said the talks were aimed to discuss ending the 3-year-long war, which began with Russia's full-scale invasion of its neighbor in 2022 and followed sustained cross-border aggression from Moscow since 2014. Tuesday's meeting in Riyadh concluded after around 5 hours, according to the press pool covering the meeting, with the State Department saying the discussions represented an important step forward toward enduring peace. Russia and the U.S. agreed to start the Ukraine settlement process shortly, Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov said during a press conference after the talks. The U.S. and Russia also agreed to appoint yet-to-be-named special representatives to continue the talks between the two countries, according to the Russian Foreign Ministry. Russia said it has been informed that retired Lt. Gen. Keith Kellogg, the U.S. Special Envoy for Ukraine and Russia, will negotiate with Kyiv and Europe on a settlement in Ukraine. Russian presidential aide Yuri Ushakov said on state-controlled Channel 1 Russia following the talks. Kellogg is scheduled to arrive in Kyiv on Wednesday for meetings with the military, the Ukrainian Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the Ukrainian Armed Forces and others. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky's team confirmed. Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban were victims of a home burglary on Valentine's Day. The Los Angeles Police Department confirmed with News Digital that their team responded to a burglary report on February 14 at 8 p.m. in Kidman and Urban's neighborhood. Unknown suspects smashed the glass door to the residence and then fled the location, a spokesperson for the LAPD stated. Officers said no one was home at the time of the burglary and items taken from the home are under investigation. The plane carrying 76 passengers and 4 crew members was cleared to land at about 2:10 p.m. The airport was experiencing blowing snow and winds of 32 miles per hour gusting to 40 miles per hour, according to the Meteorological Service of Canada. One passenger on board described the landing as very forceful, but everyone on board survived the crash and was evacuated. Emergency personnel reached the plane within a few minutes and Aitken said the response went as planned. He added that the runway was dry and there was no crosswind conditions. Canadian authorities held 2 brief news conferences but provided no further details on the crash. Video posted to social media showed the aftermath with the Mitsubishi CRJ-900LR overturned, the fuselage seemingly intact and firefighters dousing what was left of the fire as passengers climbed out and walked across the tarmac. Officials initially said 18 people were hurt. According to a Tuesday morning update from Delta, 21 passengers ended up hospitalized, 19 had been released.